kids, continuing with A Rockstar Life, part 11. My encounter with Steven Tyler I will get to in part 1, episode 2 next week. But for now, I think I'm just going to finish up the Dukes of Hazzard and the Daisy Duke story. So, Catherine and I, like I said, we spoke for a couple hours a day for a few months, and I was inside the Marriott with you know, basically hanging out, doing my work in there with you know, Gary the bartender. Like I said, him and I became friends. So what happened was, the first time I met her was at her house. She was out shopping and I was inside waiting, inside her dining room, and her maid had let me in, and she came in and she looked a little more wide-eyed than I thought she would. But, you know, I just figured it's Daisy Duke, Catherine Bach. That's how she is. She's wide-eyed, right? So she says, "Hi, Ed," and from that moment on, her and I just clicked. We were real super cool. And so then she also came down here to my place in the marina, my ocean view, which I'll get a shot of here in a second. It's across the street from the Marriott. Of course it is, right? Where else would it be? Why would I leave this block? Oh, the fun I've had on this block. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that in some later episodes. So up here in this ocean view spot, it was called Archstone at the time. John Schneider and Catherine Bach, they both came down and signed over 500 general lease. So I had met her at her house. She had come down here to my place. Me and I had a helper with me, and Catherine, and we took care of the signing, and she looked a little disappointed that I wasn't alone. Okay? A rock star life, nothing but the truth. So I figured I was crazy. So then the Duke Fest in Nashville, Tennessee, I met her. I met up with her there, and she was signing for a bunch of fans. And as soon as she spotted me, she says, "Ed," and she waves me over, and I went, you know, behind the ropes and over behind her, and she looked up at her husband, Peter, and said, "Peter, you remember Ed?" And Peter says, "Yes." And so Peter and we shook hands, and you know, I just basically was letting Catherine know I was there because she had to sign some stuff for me privately in my room when she had time. So finally, Sunday afternoon comes, and she came into my room, and I had about 60 General Lees laid out and a few other things, and she was basically just finishing up some stuff. She had already done 500 plus General Lees right here at this location here in the marina, the ocean view, and so she was just finishing up some stuff, and she left her 2 daughters with her nanny in her room, which was just across the hall from mine. In fact, James Best and his wife were nice enough to inform me the moment I arrived that Catherine's room was across from mine. I'm like, wow, great, what luck. This is just going to be just insane. So, it was insane. And what happened was Catherine and I, we were in my room at the Grand Ole Opera Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee, at Duke Fest. It was 2006 or 7. I forget exactly which one. She was signing, and then we were both up close to a wall, and I'm handing her General Lees, and as I hand her General Lee, she kind of holds it down by her side, and she uses her other hand to push me up against the wall, and she goes to kiss me. And I will continue the rest next week. Episode 2, Part 1. This is a to be continued, like they did to me on the Dukes of Hazzard show when I was 10 years old. But this is not a show, this is real life. This is a rock star life by Ed Richards. Part 11. Thanks for listening. Peace.